They cannot pass up this opportunity, as with all eyes focused on the 2026 NFL Draft and a new defensive coordinator at the helm for the Dallas Cowboys, the focus is on improving the defense in a certain aspect, and they have to hit on these two picks in a certain area. Welcome in to Dallas Cowboys Digest, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews. I appreciate you tuning in to today's show and hope you're having a wonderful day. The Dallas Cowboys are certainly eyes forward now, with everybody besides two teams now in the NFL offseason, and the Cowboys knowingly having two first-round selections at pick 12 and pick 20. They've got to improve on the defense, and if the hiring of Christian Parker didn't make it abundantly clear on what they were going to do, today it became even more clear. Jerry Jones in this offseason is going to be an interesting one. He's got an interesting amount of money to work with. We know the task at hand. Keep George Pickens. Keep Javonte Williams. Try and re-sign and re-get up Jadeveon Clowney. Make sure that we're able to keep Brandon Aubrey. But alongside all that, you got to improve the defense. You need an edge rusher. You need some secondary level guys in the defensive backfield, and you would like to have at least one linebacker, if not maybe one extra one. It's a lot of stuff to do and not a lot of money to do it, given the Cowboys are negative $39 million in the cap space hole right now. But with Christian Parker at the helm, I think it made it very clear what the Cowboys' intentions are in the 2026 NFL Draft. And NFL.com posted a new article today kind of talking about what they see from each team and what the best selection would be for the Dallas Cowboys at both pick number 12 and pick number 20. Before we get into the rest of today's show, this video is brought to you by Kalshi. Kalshi is the largest prediction market in the United States, and Kalshi lets you trade against event contractors from peer-to-peer, not against the sportsbook, and Kalshi is also available nationwide, including California and in Texas. Download Kalshi using the link in your description, and make sure to use this code DIGESTNFL to get your $10 bonus when you deposit your first $100. For sports fans, we can trade on game outcomes, playoff chances, or player performances, all on a regulated market where you can cash out at any time. Make sure you use this code because right now you can trade on the Super Bowl, and right now, if you trade, the Patriots are a 33% chance to win. I kind of like them, so I'm going to trade $100 on that for a $304 deposit back. It's genuinely the smarter way to use your sports or news knowledge. You can close positions whenever you want. Again, download Kalshi using the link in the description, and don't forget to use the code DIGESTNFL to get your $10 bonus. So, what did NFL say today? Well, it was actually a mock draft. Daniel Jeremiah had his first mock draft of the year. And if you don't know, we have the ESPN draft analyst guy, that's Mel Kiper. The NFL is the NFL Network, NFL.com, whatever you want to encompass that in. Their draft analyst is Daniel Jeremiah. I like him a little bit more than Mel Kiper. I think he has a little bit more credibility. And I like the picks that he made for the Cowboys definitely a lot more than what Mel Kiper did. We saw Mel Kiper's draft last week. This week we go with Daniel Jeremiah's. For his first pick in the first round for the Cowboys, he went cornerback, which again, I think that is a slam dunk pick. There's a bunch of cornerbacks that I would like, and he goes a little bit of an interesting route, but we'll talk about it. I think it's actually a decent pick. He goes with Colton Hood, Tennessee cornerback. 6 foot, 195 pounds. He's a redshirt sophomore, so a little bit on the younger side, and he's a 6.42 prospect rate, which is overall pretty good. You notice a lot of the top prospects, unless you're like the top 10 picks expected to play right away, your prospect rate, if it's above that 6.2 threshold, is about really, really good. So like a lot of what we've seen from Colton Hood, a really good cornerback. I think his size is actually a perfect fit for the Dallas Cowboys. He has experience in multiple facets, and there's one specific thing that I'm going to mention that may not be that big a deal, but I see it as a bigger deal. He played at Auburn in 2023, barely saw the field. He only accomplished 3 total tackles. His best year in college, in my opinion, in the limited time he had, was at Colorado. And don't get me wrong, he had a great year this year at Tennessee. But at Colorado, he got to learn under Deion Sanders. He had 24 total tackles, which for a quarterback usually means pretty good. Your corners, you want them to have less tackles. Don't want to have them a lot. He had 4 assisted, but he had 6 pass deflections and 2 interceptions, returning the ball for over 100 yards on those 2 interceptions. Now at Tennessee, he had a good year as well. 8 passes defended, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception. He's very good. He can get to the ball, very good ball hawking defender, but I think something the Cowboys might like to stay away from after the signings of Deron Bland and Trevon Diggs was a strictly ball hawking cornerback. They want to get somebody who can kind of play a middle facet, where he can be a ball hawk, but he can also be able to, play man to man, be up on him, kind of like a Patrick Surtain, Christian Gonzalez type, if that makes any sense. Something of that nature would be what they're looking for, and I think Hood is actually a really good option. And next year, not to mention, they only have 4 cornerbacks on the roster right now. Trezequier Bridges, Kalen Carson are there. The only 2 I would consider starting cornerbacks, Siobhan Rivel Jr. and Deron Bland. I expect them to get back a couple of the guys that were on their roster this year. Reddy Stewart's a big one they enjoyed to have on the roster a lot. I think he'll be back. But as of right now, in terms of cap space and who's on the roster, these are the only 4. So I think drafting is a really obvious choice. I like a lot of what Hood is kind of putting out there. Again, looked really good at Tennessee. I still think I like his time at Colorado a little bit better. Working under Deion Sanders, he looked more fluid. Not to say he didn't look fluid this year, just he looked different. I know it's a little bit. I also watch a lot more Big 12 football, so if that might sway the opinion a little bit, probably something to put in there as well. Let's go with what Daniel Jeremiah said about it, though. He said, quote, "I'd expect Dallas to draft an edge rusher in round 1, which is where he goes and pick 20, hint, hint. But I'd like to see the Cowboys upgrade the secondary too. Hood would be a plug-and-play starter for them." And I agree. It's a guy who's NFL ready, playing at the SEC twice, but Auburn and Tennessee, playing at the Big 12 level, also under the coaching of Deion Sanders as well. I think just puts this guy right into NFL-ready prospect level. There's a lot of things that I think he could improve upon. Definitely a little bit of untapped product to some extent, but that's exactly why you have Christian Parker. And I think the best thing about this is Christian Parker being able to go out there and do his own draft selection, hopefully helping out with that draft selection, really could do numbers for the Cowboys, just strictly because I guarantee you he's going to know how to coach them up and pick the right intangibles better than most anybody in the Cowboys organization. Now, in regards to that pick number 20 and edge rusher that I mentioned, it was Keldrick Folk out of Auburn that he goes with the pick number 20. 6'6", 285, really good speed, really good body, 6.49 prospect grade, so pretty decent for him as well. We've talked about Keldrick Folk once on this channel before. I like him. I think, to me, the difference with Folk as Hood, and maybe why I'm a little bit less on Folk, is specifically because he has a lot more in the untapped potential. His versatility, his size are all there. The intangibles are there. He just doesn't exactly look like an NFL-ready guy. He's going to need some coaching to get the full extent of his power up there, the full extent of what he could be in the NFL. You need to coach him in the proper way. Still at Auburn, he was a menace, totaling 10 total sacks. His best year, though, 2024, 7 sacks, a forced fumble with 45 tackles and 1 pass defended. He had 4 passes defended this year with 2 sacks. Very good. Again, untapped talent. I think if you can bring back some of the coaching abilities and work with him and Donovan Ezeraku, plus if you get back Jadeveon Clowney, that's a first overall pick that can help coach him, help boost him up, and I think that would be a very good thing. But specifically for this guy, it's the high ceiling is what you're liking about this draft pick more than maybe the actual stats behind him or what you see in him. Here's what Daniel Jeremiah of NFL.com said. Folk is a tough evaluation. He has great size and is a smooth athlete, but I'd like to see him play with a little more urgency. The upside is tremendous. So I think following suit and kind of what I mentioned there, the upside is there. He's got a lot of stuff that you really do like, and I think would be something that Brian Schottenheimer, along with Christian Parker, see very fit and very easy. But it's, again, you're going to have to work with him. You're going to have to be able to make sure that that's the right person and you're able to coach him into the player/position that you want to be. And also, given the video we made this morning talking about Trey Hendrickson, by the way, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I think the Cowboys are more on the line of let's get an edge rusher in NFL free agency, and then from there we can decide and make the discussion of like, okay, do we then draft one or do we think we can get one in free agency? I'd rather go the free agency route and focus strictly on the defensive backfield in the draft, especially with Christian Parker being able to coach these guys. I think I'd go that way, but we'll have to see. I'm not Jerry Jones. Grade the first-round mock draft, though, for the Dallas Cowboys. They drafted cornerback Colton Hood from Tennessee and edge rusher Keldrick Folk from Auburn. Did you like this mock draft? Graded an A. You didn't like it? Graded an F. Let me know all the grades in between A, B, C, D, or F. Grade this first-round mock draft with Colton Hood and Keldrick Folk. I'm going to give it a B, maybe a B-. again, I'm on the side that I want an edge rusher in NFL free agency, and I'm going to look more toward the draft for the secondary, meaning a cornerback, meaning a safety potentially, maybe both in that situation. So I think that's a part of the way that I'm going to see it, the way that I'm going to look. But at the end of the day, it's going to be Jerry Jones and his decision. So I'm very excited to see what he does. I'm also a little nervous, so we'll go with that. That's what we got for you today on the show. We do appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time. Peace out, guys.